Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Monday morning. Well, for starters, the gift Nifty is suggesting a more or less flattish start, which isn't too bad. Well, Prakash Diwan joins us to help us out with some analysis of all those top 10 stocks that we just discussed. Hi, Prakash. Good morning. Well, let's get to the top stock then from the Nifty pack itself. Titan going ahead and actually doing the obvious. At some point of time, they had to go and take a larger chunk in CaratLane. But they've done it at around, 4,700 crores of outflow. Valuations look a little bit stretched. How do you view it? In case you get a dip, will you be looking to get in?
Good morning, Nigel. So, I think premium stuff always comes at premium. There's no denying this. And CaratLane has been absolutely a great fit for Titan's overall in its overall scheme of things. And it kind of makes its presence so strong that I think if they've paid top dollar for this, it is worth the price. But my understanding is that they're probably looking at expanding through this vertical in a faster way than what they would do on the brick and mortar side. So, it's very, very ideally suited for them to start expanding with least amount of capital to be put in. So the acquisition might have cost much, but operationally they can probably use this to grow faster. So I think, yes, if you get a dip, you always buy into a Titan, given the fact that it's been so resilient in all its fronts. And the beauty about the revenue stream now from Titan, Nigel, is that all of those things which were not working fully or to full potential have also started contributing. So it's kind of getting to see everything fall in place in a very nice way. So I would definitely look at buying on dips. But some people always find it expensive and hence it's not part of the value set. But then, Titan will always fetch a premium given its business model. So if you're okay with that, definitely this acquisition will only, this depth in the acquisition will only kind of make it stronger.
Okay, it's acquiring CaratLane, more stake in CaratLane at a time when the business is growing quite a bit, right? At 9:40 a.m., we will get to hear more from Ashok Sonthalia, who's the CFO of Titan. So do stay tuned in for that. Prakash, hi, good morning. The other big event that we're tracking is the Jio financial listing. And we've spoken about this ad nauseum as to how this is, this has been one of the big triggers for the company. Of course, more details awaited at the AGM on 28th. But post-listing, what are your expectations from Jio Financial Services?
Good morning, Sonia. So, of course, as you rightly said, we'll have to wait for the details to come through to make an assessment of the kind of trajectory. But, given the sheer size of this particular listing, the space that it is in, the capabilities that it comes along with, it's definitely going to be historic. So, it's after 17 years that you have a new listing from the Reliance stable, and that means a lot. So you probably have a much wider, broader participation that will come through in the financial services space, not just from a stock perspective, but from an operational perspective as well. So I think it's going to be a disruptive kind of a move for them to be able to get into things which other players have taken much longer to establish. So the path to profitability or the time to kind of reach optimal scale is going to be far more different. And that's where the disruption is likely to be, rather than, anything very fancy on products and all. They will probably use basic products, but utilize their strength, their distribution reach to kind of, and the capital base to actually fulfill most of the needs. So I'm very excited. And what it will do is it will set some high standards. The way Jio did that for telecom, and everybody else had to kind of follow suit, whether it was in terms of coverage, pricing, accessibility. I think the same thing is going to happen with the financial service, though it's a much more mature business and there are large players which are already there. But this is going to set the cat amongst the pigeons for sure, to some extent, once it's out.
No, absolutely. By the way, would you buy... I mean, Reliance actually was the reason why the market recovered in a big way on Friday. Prakash, hi, good morning. And then, of course, it slumped towards the last 15, 20 minutes. Would you buy Reliance right now?
So, good morning, Prashant. See, JFS plus the Reliance stock is, if you look at, Reliance probably is the only large stock which has not given up in terms of this whole mild correction that you see, right? And the reason is the other verticals for Reliance also are working very well. So it's not just, that the JFS impact is there, but of course, having got listed and realizable value getting attributed to it, Reliance does own 46% of the JFS stock. So, if anything that's like a bump up will definitely reflect on the Reliance stock as well, right? But my sense is Reliance on a standalone basis has enough going for itself. It's just that, because of the fact that it's too heavy a stock for people to kind of acquire, especially for the institutions, and it still remains under-owned. It keeps on seeing these switches in and out because of the ETF flow. So that's the reason why it's not kind of performed well as much as what you would anticipate. But I feel even from here on, there's enough value on basis all the other verticals, not just JFS. JFS is going to be a very, very significant trigger. But I would definitely recommend anybody who hasn't owned Reliance to that extent that you should could probably do it at this point in time.
Okay, all right. Prakash, request you to stay with us.
Prakash, I don't know if we asked you a broader kind of market question. I mean, is it looking a little distributive, price action? Or it's still, buy the dips which will work?
So, interestingly, what happens end of earnings season, you always have this time to digest whatever has come through in terms of figuring out what sectors you would have to churn into and out of. From that perspective, it will take some time for new direction to emerge, Prashant. And remember, we've also been the whole market mood has been sullied by the fact that FIs have been taking money out. So if you really see, I think there is value in certain pockets. You would have to start switching out of some of the sectors that have not performed well, and some which have probably shown signs of bottoming out as well, right? Whether it's chemicals in some parts, whether it's IT. There are pockets where there is a clear bottoming out indicating, numbers are indicating that bottoming out's happened. So I would look at that perspective. I'm not too worried about the market losing a little bit of breath. There's a time correction more than a price correction that's underway. And you'll have to live with this till new triggers emerge. So, yeah. But, going back to this conversation you had with Mr. Prasanna Kumar of NLC, I mean, there are these companies which 90 to 125, it's moved in just a span of about 1.5 months. So you will have price appreciation for companies which have got ignored by the market. So you'll have to look for those. Always difficult, sounds easier than, doing it. But I think there is a ample room for value seeking even at this juncture in some of the pockets.
Okay, all right, Prakash, request you to hang on with us. We'll just try to squeeze in one more question. Sonal joins us to tell us about the news that's coming in on Gujarat Gas. After a while, they revised prices upwards. Sonal.
Oh yes, they have revised price upwards. That is Gujarat Gas. They've hiked prices in the industrial segment for the Morbi region by 2 rupees per SCM to 40.83 rupees per SCM. And this is the first price hike that has come in after 5 consecutive price cuts that the company took because of lower spot LNG prices. Now, Morbi industrial gas prices, they have been hiked because hike in spot LNG prices globally. The company said that their contracts now are revised to $14.5 per MMBTU versus earlier price levels of $13.8 per MMBTU. Now, this could be negative for volumes because they've hiked prices. But again, propane prices are also expected to be lower in the next revision. So it's really margins versus volumes for Gujarat Gas. We'll have to see which way things go. But yes, the stock is in focus on the back of that.
Okay, all right. Thanks for that, Sonal. Well, Prakash, just chip in with regard to your view on these stocks, Gujarat Gas in particular.
No, I think this is something which definitely works well for them. I mean, we've seen the yo-yo in terms of not just prices, but the demand, volatility, given the fact that propane was started being used as a substitute and all that. But, eventually what's going to happen is gas prices are very closely correlated to the economic growth, and that's what will happen. So I think from that perspective, Gujarat Gas definitely stands a very good chance from this level to kind of start riding the revival of sorts in most of the underlying user industries.
Okay, Prakash, very quickly before the market opening, 2 stocks, SBI and HDFC Bank, both are off 10% from their highs. Would you buy either of them now?
So, Sonia, SBI definitely looks strong. I mean, there were reasons why we saw this, fall off, and all the attributed, explanation is very logical. So it would kind of turn around. I mean, I don't see any reason why it would need to be at this level forever. HDFC Bank has its own share of, transition and migration to a newer entity, and also that might take longer. But SBI definitely at this level, for sure, is the pick.
All right. Thanks a lot, Prakash, for that. Well, we're